What is that? 10 seconds left for us. This is it. So look at that. Hey guys, just right here at my favorite spot with my favorite Quotex and favorite binary option strategies. We're gonna test today the easiest one, and again, trying to learn something and trying to earn some money too. So let's start. And this is just the beginning, starting the setups, 500 for a start, and I think the finishing sum gonna be the nicest one after this five bets. And here is gonna be the first indicator for us with the classy period. It's gonna be the parabolic side, just changing a little bit of thickness. Second one is gonna be MACD, just changing to the favorite 7 as a period, and this is it. This is it, and parabolics are just as you know. The one that is getting us tricky, but sometimes lots of help. Sometimes kind of helpful. And currency pairs with the biggest payouts. MACD is the favorite and 11-1 indicator. So I think out of using almost single MACD, it's gonna be just the sort for some easy situations and easy profit in this type of bets. Let's check it out. So this video I think not gonna be long because it's quite obvious what we're gonna do. MACD, it is just checking the green line of it. If it's below the orange line, we're getting downward. If it's above, we're getting upward. And if we are detecting some crossing or we are close to it, it's going to be the change of the tendency, just the changing of the trend. We are quite risking right here because we are so below. And because lines started to get closer and candles started to be green, so the candles just doubling our impression. And I think maybe right here we are just trying to catch some plateau because there's supposed to be an end. It couldn't be falling forever. It couldn't be falling for all day long. And parabolic stars still haven't changed. And look at that, we need just that timing. We just need to be in time before the crossing and changing is gonna happen. And this is it. So look at that, this is the plateau when it's getting more flat before it's gonna get in the opposite direction. Let's make it short. Look at that, the crossing and the green line trying to get above orange line. Look at the candles. They were green and they started to be above zero. That's also important. I think it's not perfectly seen right here, but it's quite understandable that we're gonna rise. Let's see how it's gonna be just in the end. And 10 seconds left for us. We were actually close to be a little bit without any profit. So again and again, that was the situation we were falling, and that one is actually the still situation with some plateau. Out of all candles and line of the MACD, we see the tendency, but the timing of that tendency is actually what can kill us or can help us. In that case, it was all fine. One more. I think, guys, all words here are gonna be extra perfectly seen. We're gonna get downward, and even with that green candles, but even here in parabolic star showing us we're gonna get downward. But you may see parabolic star was showing that, but the candles were actually green. So MACD were such a clear indicator to show that, and it's just started to be a little bit different. And what I want to tell you, and you need to not forget to check, look at all these MACD candles that were actually before, and the lines, but the candles are just more understandable. That was the high volatility situation we've been having. Frequently changing tiny and short situations. So sometimes when we are just continuing that, we cannot trust that candles that safely, just because it can actually change like that. Got it? I must say here the first impression are gonna be we gotta get upward, because we are detecting that this green line could actually get back and get upward. Sometimes it happening. So sometimes the line is just crossing and then we are maintaining the previous trend. I said this is not happening quite a lot, but anyway, it may happen. What actually gave me that thought that we're gonna get downward? First of all, candles were at the 0 point. And second, I just checked what is that on the chart, because now I think maybe I got it wrong. But my assumption was it's gonna be still the frequently changing, and the end of this trade gonna be, yes, it's gonna be more downward. You're gonna get higher and then we're gonna get downward. And of course I didn't know that it's gonna be just enough, and I told you, as I told you before, the green line were above, then the crossing, and again green line were above. That happening, that's true. But my assumption was, so I need to imagine that in my head, 1 minute, what's gonna be in 1 minute, not what's gonna be just in 10 seconds after just 1 minute. And I thought this tendency of getting like that as a zigzag, gonna continue, and I was right, but a little bit nervous. Guys, the first thought, we gotta get upward, but then that's important thought. Sometimes it's working only because you can see that straight away and you are just right in time. And here, the crossing. And what are chances that this green line gonna get downward after? Again, downward. One more. And candles at the 0 point. So there's actually some stopping of getting upward in that case. And of course, parabolic SAR will show us we're gonna get downward, but it is not that working. I don't think, and I didn't believe that it's gonna be like we're gonna get so downward, but I just couldn't see the right signs that it's gonna be the break-in. So my thoughts were it's maybe gonna be the same level or a little bit more downward. Yeah, look at that. That's just the letter. We had the drastic falling and then just the letter. We gotta get slowly. I don't know, I just beat out of all emotions just because I'm nervous. These last two bets get me out of my mind. Maybe it seems like I'm just so quiet. I'm not quiet. I'm nervous and just trying to control it. Guys, we just done. It was all perfect. All quite good working, but latest two situations, just as I told you, got me a little bit, knocked me out. And anyway, if you are, some kind of, I don't know, I wouldn't say victim, but if you have the same situations, if you are nervous, we can actually trade together. You know that I have some channels and we trade together there, following my signals. Of course, we are with the different results, but mostly, and I am trying, because this is the market, and what I'm trying to do to get us all to be in a tiny bit profit.